Good morning, everyone. This is Tom Coy. I'm the covenant pastor at the Milden Presbyterian Church in Sharps, Virginia, and it's an honor to welcome you to this midweek meditation. Today is Wednesday, April 7th, 2021, and we are taking a slight deviation from our series of the moment. We are looking in a week after week at worship. But today I want to take a slight deviation because Easter was just this past Sunday. And so now we are in what's called the season of Easter, and that's what I'd like to talk about in our meditation today. So let's get started. Christian worship is shaped by many factors. Among them are the spiritual needs that we have personally. That somewhat drives how we worship. Also, the preferences of the congregation where our worship takes place, and the guiding principles of the denomination to which a congregation may belong. All of these influence worship and what goes on in it, and the content and the shape. Yet bigger than all of these is the church year. Almost as old as Christianity itself, the church year is actually the calendar year divided into seasons, not like winter, spring, summer, fall, but divided into seasons that emphasize particular aspects of our faith and practice. So, for example, Advent. Advent is the 4 weeks that precedes Christmas. And these weeks focus on preparation for the coming of Christ. More deeply, it centers on the idea of how God, who is eternal, incarnates and becomes human and dwells among us in this world, which is not eternal at all. It is very transient. So we focus on that mystery, preparing for this child who will grow to be a man who will represent what God is, incarnated in human form. Lent is another season. It's a 40-day season. We just recently completed it. And Lent is about preparing ourselves for the drama, the intense drama of Holy Week. Each of the seasons has its own color. Advent has purple or royal blue. I prefer the royal blue. Lent is also a purple season. That's a penitential kind of color for Lent. One of my favorites is Pentecost, which is red, a brilliant red, passionate, all about the Holy Spirit. And the season of Easter has white. Now, at this point, someone might be saying, wait a minute, Tom. I thought Easter was a day. We just celebrated it last Sunday. We sang about the resurrection. We heard stories about the women at the empty tomb and Jesus appearing to his disciples very much alive. This is what Easter is. It's a day. And you're telling me it's a season? Well, the answer is actually yes. It is more than a day. It is a season. The season of Easter lasts about 50 days and comes to an end when the resurrected Christ ascends into the heavenly places and the Holy Spirit subsequently descends upon the disciples at Pentecost. This year, by the way, Pentecost is on May 23rd. So, what then is the focus of the Easter season. If Advent has the Incarnation and Lent has Holy Week, what is the focus of Easter? It recalls the period in which the risen Jesus appeared to numerous people on numerous occasions. For example, Jesus talking with Mary Magdalene in the garden. Jesus walking with the 2 disciples on the road to the village of Emmaus. Jesus appearing to the disciples in the locked room and breathing his Spirit upon them. Jesus standing before Thomas and banishing all doubt about his resurrection. Jesus standing on the shore, cooking breakfast for the disciples who had been fishing, and challenging Peter to care about the souls of believers. And Jesus giving the Great Commission to the disciples in Galilee. And Paul makes reference to an event where the risen Jesus appeared before an assembly of over 500 people. In other words, the resurrection appearance of Jesus is not a one-off. It happened many times to many people over this post-Easter Sunday period. These multiple encounters are too numerous to pack into one day. It takes a season at least to talk about them all. Really, it takes a lifetime to absorb and appreciate all that it really means. While Christianity may share ideas and practices that are present in other religions and philosophies, it is Christianity alone that builds its beliefs around one who died and rose from death. Easter is unique. It is at the very heart of our beliefs. More, it is the heartbeat of our faith. One day, once a year, is not enough. We need at least a season to talk about this wonderful, wondrous feature of our faith. Easter, the season. As you can tell, beside me, you can see the bit of a parament, actually a stole that I wear. It is the color white, the color of the season of Easter. So that's all for today. So thank you, and next week we'll resume our series on worship, in which we will focus on the role of music in worship. Until then, take care, God bless. We'll see you next week.